Who is who in the Temple of Justice? Poor encomiums on Justice Ariwola's bows out of service.
A total of 1,850,000,000 naira will be disbursed to 37,000 women petty traders across the nation.
First Ladies Renewed Hope Initiative Empowerment brings succor to thousands of Nigerian women.
When we resumed office, we developed an action plan in line with the presidential priorities and deliverables of Mr. President.
More ministers present renewed hope scorecards, plus a digital switchover. Federal government accelerates process with 10 billion naira grants to Nigeria Broadcast Commission. Hello and welcome to the network news on NTA. I'm Olajide Bello. From Lagos is Hingeno John Adams with the sets of stories from the zone, and presenting business news tonight is our man from the business desk, Benny Adams. Also standing by tonight with updates from the world of sport is Ayodeji Makede. And don't forget to follow us live on our website, nta.ng/live, on NTA News Now, and on X as other social media platforms displayed on your screen. The sterling leadership qualities of an eminent jurist who is the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Tajuddin Ariwola, resonate at the valedictory court session in honor of the retired head of the country's judiciary. The ceremonial hall of the Supreme Court attracted who is who in the Temple of Justice, who came to honor a jurist whose tenure was full of improvement in the judiciary. Daily Atumbi of our judicial desk reports.
To realize that a Chief Justice is not the boss or the employer of his brother justices, not at all. He is not. He is only the first among equals. A Chief Justice must therefore not see himself as the emperor of the Supreme Court. The occupier must work with his colleagues with mutual respect in order to have a successful administration.
Justice Olukayode Tajuddin Ariwola, foremost Nigerian jurist and the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, was born on 22nd August 1954 in Iseyin, the headquarters of Iseyin local government area of Oyo State, southwest Nigeria. Justice Ariwola was called to the largest bar on the continent of Africa in 1981 after his university education at the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. After 11 years of private practice as a legal practitioner, Justice Ariwola was appointed as a judicial officer in the Oyo State Judiciary in 1992. Justice Ariwola was appointed to the Supreme Court bench on 22nd November 2011. After 11 years in the Apex Court, on June 27, 2022, Justice Ariwola was appointed the Chief Justice of Nigeria in acting capacity following the resignation of the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, and was formally confirmed as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria by the Nigerian Senate on the 21st September 2022. Justice Olukayode Ariwola was sworn in as substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria on Wednesday, 11th October 2022.
Indeed, His Lordship came, saw, and conquered. He has made his mark and left indelible imprints in the annals of the Nigerian judiciary and the legal profession in general.
That even though you are retiring from the bench, you are not yet retired. We still need you so much. And I want to thank your wife, Ms. Ariwola, for looking after you for so much, for about 45 years now, as a legal practitioner and as a jurist.
My Lord, Justice Ariwola's tenure as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, although short, was quite eventful and very impactful. In these 2 years, we saw a number of appointments into all levels of superior courts of record.
His tenure witnessed the breaking of the jinx, with the Apex Court having its full complement of justices of 21 as enshrined in the Constitution. The salary of judicial officers, which was last reviewed 2007, was increased by 300% by President Bola Tinubu under the leadership of Justice Ariwola. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
And meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Justice Olukayode Ariwola as he retires as Chief Justice of Nigeria after a successful public service career. Justice Ariwola served as the Justice of the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, Enugu and Lagos divisions before his elevation to the Supreme Court in 2011. He was sworn in as the Chief Justice of Nigeria in 2022 and had also served the nation in diverse capacities as a judicial officer. President Tinubu commends the eminent jurist for his services to the nation. Noting his impactful leadership of the judiciary and his efforts in enriching Nigerian jurisprudence, as well as in strengthening the fiber of the law, the President thanks Justice Ariwola and wishes him the very best for the future. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngulale, indicates that President Tinubu will swear in Justice Ariwola's successor at the State House Council Chambers tomorrow, Friday, August 23, 2024. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged the Nigerian judiciary not to be deterred, rather it's to be resolute in actualizing its constitutional responsibilities. The President, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima Davies at the public presentation of the book, Judging with Justice, the autobiography of Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chukwunonso Nwabueze, reports.
The book, which chronicles the humble beginning of Justice Olukayode Ariwola from Isheye town of Oyo State to a successful legal career in Nigeria, climaxing in his retirement as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, having served between 2022 and 2024 as the head of the judiciary in Nigeria. An outstanding career, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a message delivered by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, said exemplifies the ongoing transformation in the judicial sector.
I'm thankful for the support the judiciary has extended to the growth and development of our dear nation. Incisive judgments that provide extensive societal reforms, such as the one that recently liberated the local government councils from the shackles of financial lack, are critical to our society's growth and development.
Guests who cut across the legal profession, top government functionaries, the political class, traditional and religious institutions, as well as family members, commended the leadership qualities of the immediate past CJN.
Doubtless, His Lordship's many outstanding qualities were brought to bear in steering a successful course for the judiciary, with many noble achievements during his tenure.
This autobiography is more than just a recounting of events. It is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of integrity, and the impact that one individual can have on the lives of many.
On behalf of all the traditional rulers, we want to say thank you for the way you have actually carried that apex position. We want to say thank you for everything you have actually done for our great nation.
The man of the moment, who is also marking his 70th birthday, was full of appreciation to God for the grace to serve the country in this capacity.
I thank everyone for the wonderful support and contribution. I appreciate you all.
As his illustrious legal career spanning more than 30 years comes to an end, Justice Olukayode Ariwola will be remembered for his dedication, resilience and remarkable contributions to the development of the judicial system in the country. Chukwunonso Nwabueze, NTA News.
And away from the judiciary, 37,000 women petty traders in Nigeria have each received a sum of 50,000 naira business recapitalization grants courtesy of the Renewed Hope Initiative at a ceremony in Asaba to flag off the disbursement to 1,000 beneficiaries in Delta State. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says the intervention is aimed at expanding the contributions of the informal sector to national economy. State Stars correspondent Adeni Itaiwo reports.
In their thousands and operating in different market spaces, they constitute the informal sector of the economy, whose success is critical to achieving economic growth. They have taken the initiative to start their small businesses and to move the enterprise along. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu and our Renewed Hope Initiative team are here to lend a helping hand. Presenting the grant of 50,000 naira each to the 1,000 beneficiaries in Delta State, the First Lady says the intervention is expected to encourage the women and stimulate growth of small and medium-scale enterprises in the country.
A total of 1,850,000,000 naira will be disbursed to 37,000 women petty traders across the nation. Economic empowerment remains a core objective of the Renewed Hope Initiative, and we have consistently delivered on this promise for both women and youth across the 6 geopolitical zone to supporting the economic reforms of the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR.
Applauding the intervention on behalf of her husband, wife of Delta State Governor Tobore Oborewori says the state is adopting the RHI template to drive economic empowerment for women in the state.
In line with this, my dear husband is supporting this empowerment team with the sum of 50 million naira.
That the intervention is coming from one of their own and a daughter of the soil gives more cause for cheer for the beneficiaries. The First Lady had earlier met the State Governor, Sharif Oborewori, and members of the State Traditional Council at the Government House. From Asaba in Delta State, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has disbursed 50 million naira grant to 1,000 women in Adamawa State. Simon Asha reports that each beneficiary smiled home with 50,000 naira to support their business. The report.
Presenting the sum of 50 million naira to Her Excellency.
Indeed, it is a moment of renewed hope and recapitalization for these women as they smile home with 50,000 naira each, thanks to the Renewed Hope Initiative of Senator Oluremi Tinubu for adding value on their lives through such a gesture.
And I am so happy to be among the beneficiaries of this grant. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu, represented by the wife of the Vice President, Hajiana Nashitima, says the empowerment initiative is to strengthen the capacity of women to enhance their productivity.
The grant provided today is to assist our women petty traders in overcoming some of their business challenges, expand their businesses, create more jobs, and contribute more robustly to our economy.
The grant provided today will empower each beneficiary with the means to enhance their businesses.
In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, through her pet project Renewed Hope Initiative, has reached out to women across the country with grants to support their businesses. Joshua Jito compiled reports from some states on the disbursement of the grants.
Since its introduction, the Renewed Hope Initiative, a pet project of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has been impacting lives of women and the vulnerable in the country through various interventions. Recapitalization Grant is the latest intervention targeting 1,000 women from each state of the Federation to boost their businesses. In Jigawa State, at least 3 women from each of the 287 wards across the state benefited from the grant.
The grant provided today is to assist our women petty traders in overcoming some of their business challenges.
Women in Gombe State are excited as they smile home with the recapitalization grant for economic empowerment.
We appreciate the wife of the president.
I will improve my business with it.
Empowering women economically is not just a moral imperative, but a strategic one. When women thrive, their families thrive.
Wife of the Deputy President of the Senate, Laila Barau Jibrin, disbursed 50 million naira to 1,000 women petty traders in Kaduna State.
A total of 1,850 million naira will be dispersed to 37,000 women petty traders across the nation.
Also, women in Katsina State benefited from the First Lady Recapitalization Grant.
The grant provided today is to assist our women petty traders expand their businesses, create more jobs, and contribute more robustly to our economy.
Child Care Trust, the pet project of late Stella Obasanjo to cater to the needs of children with special needs, has been relaunched. The move is to further amplify the need to provide all-inclusive support to this segment of the society. Elizabeth Murray reports that at the relaunch, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was represented.
The Child Care Trust, located at Buhari Council area of the FCT, has the capacity to accommodate more than 100 children with special needs. This vision kick-started in 1999 by late Stella Obasanjo and has been functional but needs technical support to offer educational and skills development programs for the children. Founder of Petra Speech and Early Childhood Development Center and the management of the Child Care Trust believe that if the center is properly funded, the children's rights will be protected.
This is with a view to enhancing their capacity for sustainable livelihood.
The relaunch is an appeal for collaboration, for sponsorship, to make impact in our society.
Relaunching the initiative, key actors in child support insist will aid provision of specialized services. It is expected that governments at all levels, private sector, and individuals key into the vision to ease families of these special children the economic and psychological burden of meeting their needs. Elizabeth Omoru, NTA News.
Learning and development are prerequisite training required to promote continuous human capacity in a thriving digital world. This core message was re-emphasized by the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority at the 31st Annual Trainers Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development in Abuja. Ngozi Technical reports that the Director General was represented by the Executive Director, Admin and Trading, Nansen Nimio.
As the world becomes a global village through information technology and digitization, it then becomes imperative to build human resources to meet with the demands of the time.
For us in the broadcast industry, you know that the change is very rapid, especially in terms of technology. The only way you can stay abreast of modern technology and be at your peak and compete with the best in the world is for you to embrace, modern technology.
Times are changing every day, and we need to change with the time. And the only way we do that is to focus on training and retraining of our workforce.
We have machine learning, we have AI, artificial intelligence, to the extent that it thinks even faster than human beings. So as trainers, we need to have these digital skills.
Mr. Alabo Ademu, who represented the head of service of the Federation, urged the delegates to have an open mind, embrace the new learning skills and knowledge to navigate the ever-evolving world.
Effective learning and development equip employees with the skill and knowledge necessary to grow in their roles.
The three-day conference is intended to open up opportunities of different aspects of learning and development to the delegates. Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News. More reports when we return. Thanks for being there. Now let's start from the Red Chambers. Deputy President of the Senate, Barao Jibrin, has expressed the commitment of Nigeria's parliament to pass enabling laws that will address gender-based violence in the country. This was at a workshop in Abuja organized by the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians to garner support and parliamentary response towards combating gender-based violence, as well as ensure gender justice in the society.
We must put in place institutions, structures, and strategies to ensure compliance and bring errant citizens, no matter how highly placed, to book, to serve digitally, they will be perpetrators.
Many of the Commonwealth member countries have laws to address gender-based violence, but the challenge is in the implementation. There are beautiful laws, but there are no implementations.
Participants at the workshop highlighted the need for Commonwealth member countries to fashion out creative ways of addressing gender-based violence, which is believed to have roots in cultural beliefs. President Bola Tinubu has approved a grant of 10 billion naira to the National Broadcasting Commission in order to accelerate the digital switchover project. The Director General of NBC, Charles Ebuebu, at a press briefing in Abuja, showed a nationwide satellite coverage. Saliu Guanara reports.
Digital switchover, so dear to Nigerians, is an essential project inherited by the current administration, with 10 billion naira grant for the commission from the sales of spectrum. The Director General of NBC, Charles Ebuebu, assures a steady move to digitize Nigeria's broadcast ecosystem in line with global standard through a renewed approach.
The funds allotted to this project will be meticulously expanded to ensure that each component of the DSO ecosystem contributes significantly to the realization of impactful digital dividends to the country. There's also satellite capacity, which entails leasing of transponders and establishing a robust satellite backbone to ensure 100% coverage of the nation. There's also audience measurement tools to provide broadcasters and the industry with detailed insights into viewership patterns, preferences, and demographics.
Creating content and develop an application for free digital switchover channels, the DG highlighted, will be among the areas of priority while intensifying collaboration with relevant stakeholders like the Nigerian Television Authority and the Nigerian Communication Commission. In Abuja, Saliu Guanara, NTA News.
The present administration has reached a milestone in its efforts to provide affordable housing for Nigerians with the completion of 6,612 housing units across 13 locations nationwide. This formed part of presentations made by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, during a ministerial press briefing in Abuja. Francis Udojo has the details.
In his submission, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa said the housing units built under the Renewed Hope Cities and Estate program are part of the government's efforts to address the country's housing deficit, noting that the program has created over 165,000 jobs, both directly and indirectly, and has provided opportunity for Nigerians to own homes through various affordable ownership options. He further stated that government has made significant progress in its efforts to establish a national social housing fund aimed at providing decent and dignified accommodation for low and no-income earners.
When we resumed office, we developed an action plan in line with the presidential priorities and deliverables of Mr. President. This was necessary to guide us in the implementation of the reforms initiatives that will increase the access to affordable housing for Nigerians, unlock the potential of the housing sector, and contribute to the economic growth and improve our urban landscape.
Other achievements highlighted by the minister include the expansion of the Urban Renewal and Slum Upgrade Program, with ongoing projects in 26 sites nationwide.
I want, on behalf of Mr. President, the Federal Minister of Housing, Urban Development, and stakeholders in the housing sector, to commend all the task teams for their good work and dedication.
Highlights of the event was the signing of an intent MOU with Shelter Africa Development Bank for housing delivery and the launch of the Renewed Hope Housing Booklet, among others. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
Minister of Niger Delta Development, Abubakar Momo, has appealed to youth of the region to remain law-abiding and cooperate with government agencies as they work towards revitalizing the Niger Delta. He made the appeal while presenting scorecard of the ministry. Ekene Ndulu reports.
Abubakar Momo highlighted key achievements from his first year in office, showcasing significant strides in regional development. He detailed completion of major infrastructure, including new roads and electricity projects that have enhanced connectivity and economic activity in the region.
Notably is the construction of a Berigolo Ogriagbene Road in Niger Delta, construction of Intiga Umuapara Amuzu Akano Isiahan Road in Obigwa local government, then the rehabilitation of Okwala Iguruta Road Phase 1 in Imo State, construction of Etinam Market Road, Kid Square Access Road in Etinam local government.
Abubakar Momo says the ministry has adopted the Niger Delta Business and Investment Summit as an annual expo to showcase potentials of the region and attract investments.
I have empowered participants from the 9 states of the region with variable skills in agriculture, ICT, and various vocations. We have also distributed essential equipment to farmers and entrepreneurs, provided financial support to SME, and roll out initiatives aimed at improving agricultural productivity and women's economic empowerment.
With environmental remediation ongoing in the region, Abubakar Momo promised that no project will be abandoned. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Minister of Works Dave Umahi has commenced design of all the failed portions of roads and bridges washed away by flood. This, he says, will be presented to the President without delay. The minister was making public the successes and challenges while implementing the Renewed Hope agenda on roads in Nigeria. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
We sincerely sympathize with people of Northeast and Northwest zones in particular, indeed all users of the said route over this natural occurrence.
With words of sympathy to those caught in the web of flooding which wreaked havoc on roads, the minister went straight to the records, which shows that the Renewed Hope movement inherited about 18,933 kilometers of roads with more than 2,000 contractors handling them. With funding gap of about 13 trillion naira as at May last year and projections pointing to 16 trillion after reviews in line with current realities, the minister puts on his thinking cap.
The Federal Minister of Works, under his statutory responsibility over federal roads, introduced the Highway Development and Management Initiative. That's another mechanism, of achieving road sector under the public-private partnership to attract sustainable investment and funding in the development of road infrastructure and maximization of the use of assets along the right-of-way.
Sources of funds were expanded, and this gave rise to the execution of a presidential emergency interventions on about 260 roads across the country. But the icing on the cake for the minister is the commencement of works on the 4 legacy projects of Mr. President.
There's a lot of routes within the economic corridor of this country and has the potential to yield the positive result that this Rehope agenda promises Nigerians.
Despite the successes, challenges of poor lifespan of some projects and vandalism are being tackled, he says. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The Bureau of Public Reforms is seeking more collaboration with the Nigerian Television Authority to enable it to drive its vision of repositioning Nigeria's public service into a highly functional, professional and customer-oriented institution. Deborah Balagbobo reports.
Director, Bureau of Public Service Reform, Dasuki Ibrahim Arabi, said the visit was to intimate the authority of its activities as well as congratulate the DG NTA on his appointment. Dasuki noted that since the setup of the Bureau, reforms have been initiated and implemented effectively. The DG BPSR said, with the kind of fake information on social media, a collaboration with NTA, the correct information on the Bureau's activities would be properly disseminated to Nigerians since NTA is known for credibility.
The new media is good, but the new media is dangerous. Where we give any gap, it takes its in, and something else happens. So I will encourage you to continue doing the good work that you are doing around providing information, while requesting you at the same time to join the various capacity development programs that we're driving.
Just like you said, the social media has its place.
Agreeing with his submission on the harm done by fake news, Director General NTA Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos promised NTA's support to the Bureau to enable it showcase its vision as the authority is fully equipped with programs that will enlighten the public about the functions of the Bureau.
For us in the NTA, we are very mindful of that, being a public medium. Our key responsibility is to protect the integrity of this country and its sovereignty, and also for the sustenance of peace and tranquility.
DG NTA was honored as an ambassador of the Bureau in Abuja. Deborah Balagbobo, NTA News.
And time now to join Hingino in Lagos for stories making the rounds from the Center of Excellence. Hingino, take it up from here.
Olajide. For Nigeria's developmental agenda as envisaged by the nation's founding fathers to be accomplished, both leaders and followers must be on the same page in the task of nation building by imbibing the spirit of selfless sacrifice to hasten the progress of the nation. Joel Upola reports that stakeholders believe it will require a reorientation for Nigerians to understand the essence of selfless sacrifice.
Think not of what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country is a popular quote of former American President John F. Kennedy, which speaks to the need to make positive impact in the growth trajectory of the nation. The same word of admonition also applies to Nigeria at this critical time when all hands are expected to be on deck, but not many Nigerians understand the significance of selfless sacrifice.
It starts from the home. So the way we bring up our children, the values we instill on them.
Almost everyone in the world is selfish. We only think of ourselves. But even at that, you can still see that when the need arises for us to contribute to nation, you see many of us doing it.
Selfless sacrifice, observers believe, starts from the grassroots through active participation in community development services, performing civic duties and other acts of patriotism, including mobilizing others to join in the task of national development.
Nigerians are selfless. Okay, something happened to me some days ago. My car just got stuck somewhere, and before I knew it, 5, 6, 7 people helped me. So I went with other guys trying to look for stones, and I was like, wow.
The nation's founding fathers like Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and the hero of appetite struggle, Nelson Mandela, are still relevant till date for their selfless sacrifice. Respondents unanimously agreed that both the leaders and the followers should make selfless sacrifice a priority. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
For the unwanted narrative of fire incidents that is rearing its ugly head again in Lagos to be nipped in the bud, there is need for adequate public enlightenment on how to forestall recurrence, which is giving Lagos residents cause for concern. Joel Pupola again reports that stakeholders want emergency responders to up their game to save lives and property.
The need to step up proactive measures and emergency response has become imperative, with about 3 cases of fire incidents within a month, including a gas explosion and a warehouse engulfed by fire, which has left scores injured with property worth millions of naira destroyed.
The authorities cannot be everywhere. The markets, you need to have first response. You need to teach people what to do.
Try to check the environment, the electricity, because most of the time they will say it's electrical fault.
Experts say many wait for the situation to escalate before calling the fire service, while those without training underestimate the situation, thinking it is just a small fire.
From that, many usually have so many flammable materials stored in the house without fire extinguisher or any safety measure in place. Many put their gas cylinders inside the kitchen without having fire blankets or fire extinguisher in their homes to be able to do a first aid. So they escalate fire when it happens by not calling the Lagos State Fire Rescue Service.
With about 20 fire stations spread across Lagos State and a toll-free line as well as an active social media presence, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service is urging Lagosians to call for help without delay.
Any little fire, if you are not trained on how to extinguish fire, call 767 or 112.
The consensus of stakeholders is that more should be done in public enlightenment on preventive measures and emergency response. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. The news continues after this break with Olajide in Abuja.
Glad to know you're still there. Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, has asked leadership of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education to engage all stakeholders to take off the stress on underage children for a better and prosperous Nigeria. This is while playing host to the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education, Dr. Muhammad Sani Idris, at his palace. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
The National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education was created to provide solutions to the age-long challenges affecting Almajiri system of education and address the root causes of out-of-school children by implementing a multifaceted education system to combat illiteracy, introduce skills acquisition, entrepreneurship programs, and alleviate destitution, among others, in Nigeria. These, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, described as onerous task that must be adequately funded by the government and supported by all stakeholders.
The leaders must fear Almighty Allah. You must do the right thing by educating our children. Let them have means of livelihood.
Executive Secretary, National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education, Dr. Muhammad Sani Idris, informed the Sultan that the commission is created to provide basic education, vocational training, healthcare, and reintegrate them into the communities. The Executive Secretary emphasized the need for the state assemblies to enact laws that will address the issue of sending tender-age children to beg on the streets in the quest for Islamic education.
You have Almajiri largely here in the north, but the out-of-school children are everywhere. The insecurity that we are witnessing today, the kidnapping, the Boko Haram, are all product of illiteracy.
Chairman House Committee on Alternative Education, Ibrahim Mustapha Raba, assured that the lower chamber is ready to ensure that the commission succeeds. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
The Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission has launched a comprehensive investigation into a far-reaching scandal involving the supply of drugs to all 44 local government areas in the state. The probe focuses on allegations of fraud and blatant violations of public procurement laws implicating 48 individuals. Our Salisu reports on the unfolding development.
A shocking scandal unfolded after a viral video exposed allegations that the state government had instructed all 44 local government councils to pay approximately 10 million naira each for drug supplies, with the contract controversially awarded to Novomed Pharmaceuticals. This prompted the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission to launch a comprehensive investigation into the matter. Chairman of the commission, Muhiyi Magajiri Mangado, revealed that preliminary findings shows that 38 local governments had remitted 9.1 million naira each for drug procurement, with half of the amount mysteriously transferred to another account.
We go around the local government, especially the metropolitan local government, on Monday, that is at the beginning of the investigation, we were able to identify that virtually all the local governments, the exception of the local government, none has received a single supply of these drugs.
This, he emphasized, constitutes a blatant violation of public procurement laws.
We were able to identify these people, and we were able to trace this fund, and we are able to locate the company who own the companies. We have all done that, and we are equally trying to look into certain nitty-gritty areas that was not even contained in the complaints, the earlier complaint.
We are ready to answer the questions. We are ready to cooperate with the investigations being conducted.
However, he contested the legitimacy of simultaneous invitations from the EFCC and ICPC, citing potential legal violations, and indicated readiness to challenge this in court. In Kano, Awwal Salisu, NTA News.
Now let's do some business with Benny Adams. Benny, what's cooking in the world of business?
A whole lot as usual. Now, a Central Bank of Nigeria survey indicates that business activities in Nigeria's economy are expected to improve in the next 6 months. This is contained in July's Business Expectations Survey report released by the CBN on Wednesday. The survey says the growth would be driven by Nigeria's services and agriculture sectors. It also noted that the sector with the highest prospect for employment is the agriculture sector, followed by the industry and services sectors. The Apex Bank report, however, said insecurity, interest rate hikes, insufficient power supply, and high taxes impeded business activities in July 2024. Respondent firms expect the exchange rate to depreciate in all review periods except the next 6 months. However, they expect the borrowing rate to rise in all the periods under review. Now, to enable Nigeria attract the desired resources needed to drive economic development, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, says confidence, integrity, and soundness of the financial system is key ingredient needed to improve Nigeria's credit rating. The minister says the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, has a critical role to play in achieving the renewed hope agenda as well as Agenda 2050.
Because our Agenda 2050, which is a statement of our national aspiration, requires that we invest no less than $100 billion per annum in order to achieve a GDP per capita of 33,000 plus by the year 2050. We are nowhere near that. The current level of financing is much, much smaller than that. We have undertaken bold and courageous economic reforms. Our budget, our federal budget, is very small compared to our peers. We are at $20 billion for a country of 220 million people compared to Indonesia, another country of about our same size, with $210 billion federal budget, or Brazil with $740 billion. So that goes to say that to fund our Agenda 2050 and the renewed hope agenda, we are looking for a lot of money.
Quick look at the markets. Investors lost 64.98 billion naira as the oil share index declined by 0.12% to close at 95,718.05 basis points. A total of 393.6 million shares in 8,243 deals, corresponding to a market value of 5.853 billion naira, were traded. Today's data shows 9% improvement in volume, 19% decline in turnover, and 6% decline in deals. The current market capitalization is 55 trillion naira. On the aggregate, 121 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 22 gainers and 18 losers. Universal Insurance Company recorded the highest volume of 68.2 million traded shares, followed by Chams 33.8 million, Wando 29.8 million, and Transcorp Nigeria 28.1 million. That is it on business. But more news after this break.
Glad to know you're still there. Now let's join Ayo Deji, Market Day for Sport Update. Ayo. All right, Ayo Deji, Market Day. You just have to stay put because we have to close together this night. And that's it on the network news. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.